Francesco from Fattoria di Montemaggio, and today we're going to discuss a very interesting topic: decanting or not decanting. Well, when should I decant a wine? When should I use a decanter? First of all, many people think, that anytime they have an older wine or a wine they consider older, they need to do, of course, this decanting process. They need to use actually a decanter. But it's not always the case. Well, if you have a wine that is, pretty good in terms of capacity of aging process, and maybe it's not even that old, let's say something in between 8 up to 12 years old, maybe it will be not necessary at that point to use a decanter. Of course, if you have something older, well, in that specific case, I really suggest you, of course, to use a decanter, maybe 15, 18, 20, and even more years old wine, if you have, of course, the opportunity to taste such glorious and aged kind of wine. In that specific case, you want to use the decanter, but you need to be careful. First of all, you need to put in a vertical position the bottle of the wine, of course, that you want to decant at least 48 hours earlier, in order to have all the sediments accumulated on the bottom part of the bottle. After that, after these 48 hours, you can open the bottle, put it in a decanter, and let it breathe 4 hours. Let's say 2 up to 4 hours. After that, you can, of course, remove the sediments. You can filter out the wine, and then you can serve it. Of course, the decanter should be a very specific one, not a very wide one, but a one that has a very narrow top part. So in order to have, a very good and slow passage of oxygen, inside the decanter, that will not create like a shock for the wine, will not be too much oxygenation, and the wine, of course, will breathe very slowly and constantly for a few hours. That's really, really important. But when should I when should I use the wider decanter or a carafe? Many people think also, okay, I can use a carafe even with an older wine. Actually, no. Carafe is something you want to use mainly with younger wine. Let's say from 2, 4, even 1 year old wine. Sometimes you want actually, in this case, to let it breathe the wine in order to create a little bit of oxidation. Maybe it's a very young wine that really needs, to be, to breathe, to be oxidated a little bit, to create a little bit of oxidation in order to smooth it out the wine. And that's very necessary, especially in super, super young wine. So in that specific case, I would suggest your carafe. But what if I have a wine that it's, 6 up to 10 years old? What should I do? Well, you can open the bottle a couple of hours before the tasting if you want, but then just put it in your glass of wine and let it breathe. This, of course, glass of wine, it's just like a mini decanter, and it has the same function, and it's as much as functional as the decanter when it comes about, wines that are not very, very old. So I hope you enjoy this content. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to know more about us and about the world of wine, you can follow us on every social media, basically. We are a little bit everywhere. So again, I hope you enjoy this content. See you next time. Cheers.